Grand Rising, everyone. It's good to see you all. It's a very powerful time period. It's a time period of change and upgrading and learning more about ourselves and who we are from past lives, learning about our soul. In today's lesson, we're really going to dive deep into learning more about our soul and our life purpose, and we could do that via the Akashic records. And we have a very special guest today. We have the great Adam Gell. So he is the guru of the Akashic records, and we're going to be talking a little bit about all of this today and how accessing the Akashic records and learning about yourself, learning about other people. It gives you an understanding, an overstanding of maybe things that you experience in your life and how we can improve and how we can move forward. A lot of people, they want to have a journey of self-discovery, and the Akashic records is all about your soul's origin and the journey that your soul has been on over the past few lifetimes. And we could have certain feelings. You could see this right now. Dolores Cannon said, like, this is the last hurrah. So a lot of people have to have maybe even a new experience that they've never had before. And learning about yourself via the Akashic records will be very helpful on your journey. We gave everyone enough time to get on this world famous live stream. I'm absolutely grateful for all of your support. Could you kindly smash the like button right now? It helps others find this message. Please subscribe to the channel. Click the bell next to subscribe. Select all. We have daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You could even set an alarm on your phone, knowing that we will have a live stream every single day. If you like this type of content and community, we have a Patreon. A new video is up on Patreon. We host live Zoom meetings there. We have Telegram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Rumble. So you could check out the Our Everyday Lives community, and we have group chats, and the community is growing. And just like as I shared, we're going to be passing the community forward to authentic people. And that's how we learn from one another. And, we have to learn the truth about reality and the universe. And Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And when you think about the Akashic records, it's almost like the cloud, a database of all of the information. Everything that you do, so think before you act, everything that you do is actually being documented in the Akashic records. And we're actually here for our soul's growth and to learn. Maybe you made mistakes in past lives and you're here to correct them. We could actually correct them as we are alive on this journey. So our life is for our soul's growth. You could think about things that you're drawn to. You could say, why am I so drawn to this? How we feel a certain way. You might feel a certain way that goes against maybe societal norms. Why do I resonate with this? Many people resonate with different things, and we're here to talk all about it today. We have Adam Gell, and you want to start us off with what the Akashic records are?
Well, I think you gave a little bit of an imprint on what the Akashic records are, but to elaborate a little bit on that field, the Akashic records is an energy field stored in the fifth dimension. It's actually the space between space called the Akasha. And whatever information or whatever action we pursue, whatever we speak or whatever we think, has the capacity to actually be stored in the Akashic records. It's somewhat like a metaphysical library that stores all the imprints of our actions. And so, in other words, when we do something, just as we throw like a rock into like a lake or a pond, and it reverberates and creates waves, and it winds up hitting the walls, and then it stops there. Well, our actions, thoughts, and speech wind up getting stored in the Akasha where it hits, which is that fifth dimension area. And what it does is it holds on to the information and gives us the capacity with our subconscious mind or a specific type of prayer to access the information and the energy to retrieve soul's journeys, soul's paths from each one of us, our present situation, and our future possibilities. And so, as Michael was saying, you have to watch the way you really speak. You have to watch the way you act. in not terms of that as if somebody's watching over you, but more so the fact that there's a repercussion for the things we do, both in a positive way and in a negative way.
And you spoke about accessing them. So how could someone relate to accessing the records?
Yeah, many people are interested in understanding their soul's path from the beginning of time, which is what the Akashic records store. And since there's an imprint there, there's a way of accessing this information. Many people can do it in different ways, being in like in a trance state somewhat, listening to specific music, drumming, Michael with the bowl, the vibrational bowl. But in terms of the way I access it and the way I was taught was through the Akashic Record prayer, which is a prayer that was passed down from the Mayan tradition to a specific woman who translated into Spanish. And then this man by the name of Johnny Przewski, if I'm saying it correctly, he wound up having a dream of meeting this woman who was going to pass on a prayer. And the prayer was then passed on to him, and then he translated into English. And so by reading a specific prayer, we change the vibration of our current situation, but we also have the capacity then to access deeper information about, as I said before, our soul's journey or specific questions about the present day or future.
We've been friends for a while, and you taught me how to access it years ago. I tried it for a little bit, and I didn't continue with it. But when I did open it, I saw all purple. I didn't really get information. And you said that, just simply opening the records or being connected to them is healing. And I think about like grounding. So anytime you're connected to nature, the universe is nature, it's all really about healing. So how could we heal energetically and via the information from the Akashic records?
Yeah, well, since the information comes through, it's downloaded through our 8th chakra, which is about 12 inches above the crown chakra. That information, and specifically actually saying the prayer, will actually create a vibrational shift in our body. It's a download from the Akasha into the 8th chakra that we process into our crown chakra. And specifically what happens is that the vibrations, the high energies that we encounter by opening the Akashic records will create, again, a shift in the whole chakra system. It has the capacity to open us up to the vibrations, the higher vibrations. And in terms of shifting the energy and accessing this energy changes things in our body, right? Opens up different areas or paths that are blocked. So if a person's not seeking information, just accessing the prayers, like Michael just said, created a specific type of shift in terms of what he saw in his third eye.
Someone just said Michael is holding the mic, so
Yeah.
it's all synchronicities. What could we actually learn? Like, what do we learn about ourselves, and what could we do to apply the information to improve our lives? I think a lot of our journey, I share on the channel a lot. We run off of subconscious programs 95% of the time, and a lot of these subconscious programs are fear. It's pumped out on the TV. A lot of people are living in fear. This is the end. You can't pay your bills. And we're running in a fight or flight state, and that's just kind of like the way of the world. I believe we're leaving a fear-based society and going to more of a heart-based society. So, like, what can we learn and how do we apply it?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the reason why it's a good question is because many people are in an ego state, and the ego state is getting yes or no responses to life and receiving feedback that's yes or no. In other words, will I get that job? Yes. Or will I not get that job? No. Will I get that relationship? Yes. Will I have that relationship? No. So when we're in that state of asking yes or no, we're in the ego state. But when we're in the Akashic records, we remove the ego, the prayer itself, and being in that energy takes the ego out of the way and allows the subconscious mind to be accessed and be processed and process information. And what it does is it gives us the capacity to not only know our present day situation of what we can do, like by asking specific questions like how and why, but we can go back in time to our past lives and see the same patterns that existed across the soul's journey, and realize that we need to work on things that existed maybe 100 years ago, 50 years ago, in another life that's presenting itself today. And if we have access to that information, we're able to see and say to ourselves, that came from a past life. Now I know I need to work on that to resolve that so I can really move forward on my timeline. Otherwise, we're living in that timeline in some ways, having the remnants of those experiences, and also the future possibilities, right? The ability for us to change or shift the present day so that we can create our future by accessing or seeing, like myself, when I'm doing a reading, I sometimes see a person where they're going to travel or what type of job they may do. And that gives them the insight and gives them the hope, right, that they have something that they want to fulfill is in line with their dreams and goals.
You know, I'm reading I'm reading the comments right now, and there's no more labels. I think that, you know, we're leaving that part of society. We're not our color, class, or creed. We're not our gender. We're an energy, and that's why, you know, we've had all different experiences. When you open your mind and you say, you know, I've lived before, and you start like thinking about, oh, I feel a certain way. This makes me feel empowered. This makes me feel scared. You know, people are scared of, say, the water, and they never you know, even drowned or anything, but it could relate to something in a past life, and really you know, focusing on the energy of healing these things. And there's many different ways of healing. I am the love bowl man. This is the little drummer boy. Adam, if you want to speak about the drumming, Adam has done drumming for me personally, and he does it on his YouTube channel. And you know, we're passing it forward today to great people, and that's what the Our Everyday Lives community is all about. Is about you know, expanding to authentic people that really do the work and healing. And do you want to speak about the drumming that you do?
Yeah, just as you do the sound bowls, and it creates a vibrational shift. It changes the brain waves to a more relaxed state. So does the drumming itself. And the shamanic drumming, what it does is it gives us the opportunity to shift the brain waves through the sounds itself, and allowing the ego again to then be pushed aside, and through the drumming itself, through the relationship to like spirit animals. An animal can be a representation for a specific archetype or a specific energy that comes through, and it's easy for us to then accept the information because it's in the form of an animal, and it becomes more relatable, as opposed to just seeing information come to you that can be create fear or push you back. But so the drumming itself is, you go on a journey, and we wind up walking through the forest to a specific area and accessing different pathways, seeing an animal and asking a specific question, and having the ability to just be hit with that information rather than having a premeditated idea of what animal you're going to see and what you're supposed to think and how your ego should control the situation. So I think, like Michael, what he's doing with the healing bowls gives the opportunity for you to be in a different brainwave, as does the drumming.
Yeah, and you know, when you did the drumming for me, you know, the wolf came through, and the aspect of working together as a team. And you know, that's what I think we all should be focused on, because and we were talking about it too. Not one of us can move everything ourselves. We all have to come together.
Yeah, I think the saying that I've been speaking about over the last month is we're all walking each other home. So if we look at it that we're not here forever, and that when we assist others, we're doing like a gift to someone else, and as well as ourselves, the act of giving and assisting and helping people, pushing people forward rather than pulling people down, is a real positive attribute for ourselves. And when you work together, the universe then sometimes it works with you, and it pushes you forward. When you push people aside and want to rise up alone, then what happens is then the people who rise up push you down, and it goes into a cycle. So I think the holding hands and moving strong forwardly with one another, everybody has individual strengths and talents, and when we honor that and know that we can't be everything, but we can be what we are, what our power is, and then we work together in pushing each other's power forward. And that's what Michael's doing, and I'm grateful for him.
I'm grateful for you too. I think a lot of it's difficult because, as I talked about, subconscious programming is changing, and we learn new things, and you know, a lot of you know, I'm faced with it right now too, is the art of letting go. And you know, we all have thoughts in our mind, and our ego is guiding the way. And I've shared this before. The ego is not a bad thing. It's just because of the way society is. It kind of roots people in the ego. As I shared on my channel, it's not about manifesting a Lamborghini so you could pull up to the Starbucks to order a macchiato. But the ego is actually designed to protect us, especially since we've been in a fear-based society of having things taken away, and people being put in the fight or flight mode. How does a person get courage to maybe change their ways or adapt new routines and rituals?
Well, I think we spoke about this a little bit about this yesterday. I think our main mission, along with our own personal mission as an individual, is to surrender to the universe. I think it's when we grasp and hold on. The ego says, "I have to have this. I have to do this," as a means of protection, as the way we're brought up. Right? We're brought up in a state of fear, negativity, as a way of protecting us. So, like, don't step too far; you may fall down that staircase. Don't go here; you may get hurt. And so we're raised in an environment where we think it's for our own good, but in essence, what it really is it's keeping us in a fixed position, in a role, like a role model that we have to fulfill for our parents and the whole ancestry. And I think that when we step out of that, we feel anxiety. So we want certain feelers around us to push us back into that state that we're comfortable with. And I think life will knock down the walls and make us reveal ourselves like a showcase, like The Price is Right, when they lift up the curtain. Yeah.
Come on down.
So everybody will have to come on down and face Bob. Was it Bob Barker?
Bob Barker's coming.
Bob Barker, yeah. So I think we will have to face our own self, and I think our ego is challenging our own self to keep us from really oozing out and squeezing the sponge and clearing it out. And I think all the negative experiences we have, all the difficult people, the difficult things, the situation you're going through, all presents itself as a silver lining for personal growth and for expansion. And we only want to keep what we know, and that's the debilitating part. So I think by surrender in every situation, if we can, breathing, sitting with ourselves, and allowing ourselves to feel and let the anxiety come through us rather than pushing it in us.
When you said sitting by yourself, I think a lot of people, I've shared this a lot, they struggle with being alone. And I feel that's where we really find ourselves, because there's so much chatter, and every person wants to live their life, and we do become a collection of subconscious programs. So we could say, who's the writer of the program? Was it mom? Was it dad? Was it this relationship person? All these things can fade away when you do have the time to be alone. And I think over the past few years, especially, the world has been going through a tough time. People were forced to be alone, and they kind of struggled with that.
Yeah. I always find when I'm doing the work for myself and communicating with other people ask me in terms of Akashic record readings or information, is that a lot of our issues stem from a cut-off inner child, an inner child that felt shamed, rejected in some capacity, whether it be in a social setting, whether it be in a family setting, wherever it might have been. And we move on from that inner child, and we cut part of ourselves off, which creates a disparity between what we are and who we are. And we don't want to face that loneliness, because the loneliness is actually the cut-off part of ourselves, the inner child. That part that could be alone playing and occupying itself. But as an adult, we feel we shouldn't do that anymore because we grew up. And we need to return back to those skills, back to those fun parts, and then I think we become more whole and we're more comfortable being with ourselves. You rarely see children who are lonely as a child. They play, they get their toys out, they occupy themselves. They have the security of maybe their parents in the background, but we can do that too through our own fun and joy. Whatever we can find to bring us fun and joy, I think, then creates that feeling of not being alone and not feeling lonely.
Yeah. And, I wouldn't say recently, like a couple months ago, I did a video, Don't You Want to Have Fun? I think a lot of people have lost focus of that. We're here in Earth School having fun. And that's where we want to be focused on, making school fun for everyone. More people have come on this live stream, but let's just take a second to smash that like button right now. It's going to help others find this message and find maybe I don't know if he still has Adam. Everyone go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Do you still have the longest YouTube channel name in history?
Yeah, I was planning on putting the name of my YouTube channel on the back of this shirt, but then I realized I needed to have two shirts to. So it's Conversations with Adam Gell and Inspiring Minds. Yeah, I try to fit everything in and go.
If you type in Adam Gell, it should pop up. Any last thing you want to share with the audience today?
Yeah, I think that we need to not be so hard on ourselves. I think we really punish ourselves and try to be the most perfect example of who we're supposed to be. We create this image of ourselves, and we try to fulfill the image of how we were raised, of how people around us looked at us. And sometimes we're not what people told us we are. We have to sometimes reinvent ourselves and not be frightened to reinvent ourselves and not be frightened to sit alone and not be perfect, because nobody's perfect and we can't expect it. And I think that we should just try to accept ourselves and be more loving to us if we can find that way of doing it.
Now, this was a good chat today. I appreciate you and the time that we spent together. And, for everyone that is, tuned in, please, subscribe to Adam's channel. If you haven't, subscribed to the Our Everyday Lives channel. And I'm grateful for all of your support. I have a tremendous Patreon. We have a great community there. We all get on the Zoom together. Adam kind of joins in sometimes, and Adam will be starting his own Patreon as well. And it's a powerful time period to learn things that could make us become self-empowered, and we'll move forward all the way till the bell. Becoming self-empowered and helping others find the inner light that they have to really change the world. Because if you have the inexhaustible belief in yourself, you'll be able to change the world. And remember, you can't change anyone else. So all you could do is change yourself and be the change that you want to see in the world. So I'm grateful for all of you. Why don't you leave a comment? What are your thoughts on the Akashic Records? Take the time to go through the channel. Maybe you'll find videos that resonate with you. Check out our Patreon if it calls you. We really have a good time together. There's a brand new video up on Patreon. I love each and every one of you. We will be back on tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't. And I hope that this message was helpful for all of you. Have a great day. Namaste.